Hey everybody, Janet says I'm ready to go. And today we're going to talk about why older men are so happy in their retirement here in the Philippines. Older men often find retiring to the Philippines to be attractive for several reasons, which contribute to the happiness and satisfaction with their retirement life. We all know that women play the #1 reason. You can see Janet here taking care of me prior to going on camera. The women are very affectionate and caring of their partners here. I think this is the biggest reason older men choose the Philippines. It's the relaxed pace of life. You know, you live in the US, it is a hectic lifestyle. Man, you know, the stress you're under just to pay all the bills and get everything done. You know, it seems like you're just spinning your wheels. If you're still working, you know, you get up in the morning, you go to work, you get your paycheck at the end of the week or at the end of the month, and it barely covers all your bills. Barely covers all your bills. You know, you're thinking to yourself, man, I need to save some money. And you can't, and you're always on the go, man. You know, life is go, go, go. If you have a doctor appointment in the US and you're 15 minutes late, they pass you by. And you're getting billed anyway, so you're always in a hurry to get there. Here in the Philippines, we're on Philippine time, and a lot of foreigners don't like it. I don't like it when I do things with the government officials, but it's just how life is. You get there and you relax. When you order a meal, you know, they're not in a hurry when you sit down. You know, they come and they bring you the menu, you know, and you wave to them when you want to order. No one's rushing you in and out of the restaurant. They take your order and then they tell you 25, 30 minutes. Now the food might get there in 10, but they're telling you 25, 30 minutes because it's a slower pace. And you can sit there and enjoy your meal. And same thing when you go down to the beach or down to the boulevard. Everybody is just slow paced. They're sitting under the trees. They're sitting in the shade. They're enjoying their life. Everything is just slower here in the Philippines. If you're up in Cebu and you're hanging out at Ayala Mall, you go to the coffee shop. Let's say you go to Bo's Coffee and want to sit down on the terrace and have a cup of coffee and relax. No one's going to rush you. No one's going to say, hey, you're done, you need to vacate that chair, you know, 30-minute limit only, time limit to use that chair. No, you can sit there all day if you want. There is no rush. Nobody's pushing you. Everything's a slower pace. There's few negatives to the slow pace. You know, you need to do banking or business with the government office. Everything's slower. Everything takes more time. But life in general is just slower, and it's more peaceful. And some great advice from Paul Old Dog, who tells everybody who comes here, first thing you need to do is slow down and relax. And that's the life you get here. You can get that slow pace, relaxed life with no pressure. Your pension, your Social Security should be enough money that you don't have the stress that you had back home. You know, you're here, you pay your rent, you pay your couple utility bills, and you're good to go for the month. And you find yourself a good girlfriend, a long-term partner, a wife, and you can have such an enjoyable, peaceful, relaxing life here in the Philippines. The one reason many older men choose the Philippines is the cost of living. We all know the Philippines is inexpensive to live compared to your home country. Now, there might be other countries in Southeast Asia that are a little bit less expensive, less costly rent-wise, but the Philippines is still a great value to retiring men in the Philippines, older men, older couples, older women coming here to the Philippines. Housing is cheaper. You know, the rents are much cheaper here. The food cost here is way cheaper than in the US. Travel, you know, domestic travel here in the Philippines is reasonable. You can get from one island to another with no problems, but the cost of living is a main factor for many older men that come to the Philippines. And the tropical climate. A lot of guys like this warm weather. You know, for years and years back in the States, people, when they retire, have been moving down to Florida. They've been moving down to Texas, the coast of California, somewhere warm somewhere close to the water, and that's what you have here in the Philippines. There's no more winters. No more plowing your driveway to get out of the driveway in the wintertime. No more snow days, you know, driving to work in the slush and the blizzards. You come to the Philippines, it is warm all the time. The climate here, it's just beautiful. You know, it's sunny a lot. The days are enjoyable. The nights are cool. It's just a much nicer environment to live in. Let us not forget the girls. We come here for the women because they're acceptable to older men talking to younger women. Now, you can be 60, 70, 80. We have a friend in Cebu who's in his 80s, and he has found the love of his life. Doesn't have to be, as everybody's saying, you know, dive down there into the real young girls, but you can find girls that are in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, who are beautiful, who are caring, and will become a great partner for you, a great wife. And they're very caring, these women. And you know, you have them as a girlfriend at first, maybe later you marry them, or they're just a long-term partner. But guys, when you get older, and this is starting to set into me and everybody I talk to, when you get older, you get into your 80s, and you need good care. You need somebody to take good care of you. That girl that you meet, that you take care of now because you can afford to take care of her, and you treat her with respect, and you love her, and she loves you, when you get to that point that you need someone to change your diaper, you need someone to wipe the drool off your chin, she's going to be there for you. And the girls here, they're beautiful, age gap accepting. You know, they say age is just a number. And it is to them. It is to them. Maybe to some people who live here, age gap, if it's too big, is a voodoo. They don't like it. But we're talking about the person you choose as a partner in life. What do they think? And I'm not telling you to choose someone way, way younger than you. I'm just saying you can find the person that is right for you. And age is not the issue. And all these women are beautiful. The big compliment I give these women is they're not like Walmart women. And I know I throw Walmart women out there a lot. Walmart women, they dress bad. They go out to the store, they're in their sweatpants, shorts, a t-shirt with spaghetti stains on it. They got a babushka on, or they got a hat on, no makeup, and they just don't look good. If a girl here in the Philippines goes to the mall to go shopping or goes to Hypermart, they get dressed. They look good, their clothes are clean, they're pressed, their hair is nice, their makeup is nice. They try to look good all the time. And that is such a pleasant surprise, where everywhere you go, the women are looking as nice as they possibly can. They might not have the newest fashion, they might not have the newest clothes, but they look as nice as they can be, and they're as nice as possible. They're very polite, and they're very nice to talk to. And yes, you don't go up and talk to everybody. Everybody has their own life and loves their privacy. But if you say hi to somebody, they're going to say hi back. Where in the US, you say hi to somebody, you might get a grunt. Like, why are you talking to me? So women will always be the #1 reason men come to the Philippines. And the healthcare. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, healthcare in the Philippines is bad. I disagree with that. I think it's more than adequate. I haven't used it that much. I got a complete physical last year. I'm due for another one. And it was just a little over $200. And that was the ultrasound, the chest x-rays, the EKG, the echo, all the blood work, consultation with a doctor. And like I said, it was under $200. I had a complete check. I know what's wrong with me. I know what's right with me. And visiting a doctor. Here in Dumaguete, you can go see a doctor at Silliman Hospital for 600 pesos. And that's before the senior discount. And that's like $10. And you can also see a doctor at Holy Child Hospital. We have one physician there you can see for 400 pesos, which is like $7 for an office visit to get a prescription. You have your U.S. prescription, but you have to change it to Philippine prescription. You go see the doctor. Maybe you sprain a wrist or something, and he can schedule some tests for you. Of course, you have to pay for them, but you can get blood work done and all this done, and it's really inexpensive. And I'm going to let James, the Texas Filipino, explain how he found health care in Iloilo. It's more than adequate.
Good hospitals and dentists in Iloilo. Let me tell you, just grab your phone, go to Google Maps and type in hospitals Iloilo. You're going to get a list drop a mile long. We have all levels of hospitals. We have your poor public hospitals, and we have lots of private hospitals. And this is a university and college town and trade school town. So like Mike has recognized that it is a young population, and the level of medical here is just astounding. And they're still building new hospitals. They just put up it looks like a condo tower, a skyscraper, and it's a brand, with glass, curtain wall on it and all. And that's another brand new hospital that just came up. We have a lot of nice hospitals, and I have direct um, knowledge of those and experience with them because um, I've had medical treatments done. My wife had a major life-saving operation done, and the level of professionalism that we received was beyond what we were getting with our Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance and with hospitals back home in Dallas and parts of Texas there, that they were just dragging us out and not fixing the problem. Just all they were there for was the milk insurance. We gave up, even though we had insurance, we gave up on using it anymore in the US. We felt like her condition was worsening. They were not fixing the problem. Everything was a pill and a prescription. We went to a doctor here. He was astounding. His level of professionalism was out of this world. He didn't understand why they hadn't already done something about her condition. They had her scared to death in the US. He gave her calm and resolve here. And 2 weeks later, it was over with. I mean, he was willing to operate within 3 days, but we end up giving it just a little bit more time, a couple of weeks to get some things in order. She still had a lot of fear from what the doctors told her in the US, and he fixed her, and it was over with. It was over with, and the cost of this with a private room, from the time we walked in the hospital for the first time to the time we walked out, and that with a private room in a modern state-of-the-art hospital under a major invasive surgery. We're talking anesthesiologists, any and everything you could be billed for. We were out under $3,000.
Under 3,000 euros.
Yeah, out of pocket. And he didn't just like do it and you don't see him again. He came in personally checking on her, not just nurses. He did regular follow-ups. We still do follow-ups with him. Man, what a professional guy. And it wasn't like he was on some kind of old remedial equipment or anything. The the x-ray machines and different types, we'll just say x-ray, no matter what it is, it's scanning your body. We're all state of the art. He he was all working on Apple software, and he's all working on an Apple tablet. And he's got a screen up on the wall in his office, and when he wants to show you something, he just swipe it with his finger, and it pops up on the screen on the wall. And he's in detail. We weren't getting that in the U.S. either. They don't even want you to look at their screen. They're trying to be private with it.
Everything's secret.
Yeah, and I mean, there was no pen and paper going on. It was very modern. So yes, I felt it was better than what I was now getting back in the US. Like there's something happened. The lawyers and the insurance has just destroyed America, man. In my opinion, that's my
The
opinion.
insurance, yeah, and the fear of lawsuits all the
Yeah,
time.
But
It
it's
tries
it's actually stepping up here, and we happen to be in a city that is absolutely good. The dental work I've had done, these teeth have been redone right here by a dentist here in Iloilo. The price, I couldn't even go get my teeth cleaned for what he did cleanings and repairs for. I couldn't even pay for a cleaning in the US. you know, and didn't even need an appointment, just walk in.
Just walk in.
Yeah.
And we drove by and we looked at a couple of the hospitals. We didn't go in the hospitals, but the outside, you know, well lit, maintained emergency room entrance, 24-hour pharmacy, uh, plenty of parking, you know, at the hospital itself. Uh, the security was friendly there, and it was so clean and compared to some of the places I remember in Albuquerque when my mom went to the emergency room. She had to sit in the emergency room for a long time. The accessibility to good hospitals, you have to pick where you live to make sure you have a good hospital around you. And if you do need doctor's care, if you are in a position where you need health care in the coming years, you just have to choose where you live to be close to the hospital. And they're close. Here in Dumaguete, we have Silliman and Ace. Up in Iloilo, they have some good hospitals. They have good hospitals in Cebu and up in Manila, but you just need to live closer to them. If you're in great health and you don't need a doctor, you don't need to be seeing a doctor too often, you can live farther away, buy one in the provinces, and still enjoy a great life, knowing that in an hour drive or an hour and a half drive, you can get to good health care. There's a great expat community here in the Philippines. And you can talk to a lot of expats. Now, I know some guys are going to say, I don't want to deal with expats. I want to live by myself. I don't want to talk to anybody. Well, that sounds good in the beginning, but after a while, it's nice to talk to somebody from your home country. It's nice to talk to somebody who has similar views of the world as you do. It's nice to talk to somebody about sports. You know, maybe you find a Lakers fan, or you find a Jets fan, or somebody who you can talk sports with once in a while when you meet up with them. And also, expats are a great resource. You can use your meetings with expats at coffee shops, at restaurants, anywhere, and you can start a conversation of, I'm looking for a place to live. I need somewhere to rent. And these guys might know a good landlord. They might know a good real estate agent. They might even know of a place that's for rent that you can afford. It's a great way to get information about the community you're in, the city you're in, going to the LTO to get a driver's license. Or do you know the name of a good doctor? I need to get a prescription made. This is valuable information that you get from expats when you sit around and talk. And also you can vent. You make friends and you can vent and you can talk chismis. You know, you can talk and gossip about things and people, politics back home. Maybe you were in the bank and it took so long to withdraw, you know, $200 because the ATM machines were out and you just wanted to vent. You wanted somebody you could bitch to about a situation and know you're not going to get in trouble, and, you know, they'll help you out and laugh it off. And, you know, it's just a great thing to have an expat community of people you can talk to, share experiences, share problems, and maybe solve these problems. So the Philippines, a big advantage is that they have a great expat community. And if you really don't want to talk to expats, you can find places to live in the Philippines where there aren't any expats. But I think in the long run, you're going to want somebody to talk to every once in a while. I do. I love to talk to people. Another aspect of why older men like to retire in the Philippines is men are still active at retirement age. You know, at 62, 65, even up to 70, you're still active. And the natural beauty and the leisure activities that you can find here in the Philippines. You know, the natural beauty you can have, I don't know what you're going to have here transportation-wise, but if you have a motorbike, you can go on beautiful rides up into the mountains, down the countryside. If you have a car, same thing. You can drive up into the mountains, go to these coffee shops that are way up on the top of the mountains. Here in Dumaguete, up on top of the mountain, we have the Chosen Cafe. It's a long ride by car or motorbike, but it's a beautiful ride up the mountains above Valencia, where you can go and it's a destination spot for you, and you get a beautiful view. You get an inexpensive cup of coffee, and it's a great day trip. And if you like to scuba dive, or if you like to snorkel, if you're in Dumaguete, which is where I live, you can head down to Critter Republic or someplace in Darwin, out that way, and go to a dive shop or go snorkeling on the reefs here. It's a beautiful area to be, and you can find this everywhere in the Philippines. Places where you can go snorkeling, you can go scuba diving, you can go boating. We even saw, when we were up in Iloilo, people fishing with rods and reels. So many guys have been talking to me about, can you fish in the Philippines? And every once in a while I see somebody with a rod and reel not catching nothing. But up in Iloilo, in the river there, we saw so many people fishing and people catching fish. So yes, there's so much to do here, and the natural beauty of going island to island. You know, there's what, over 7,000 islands. The trip Janet and I just took up to Iloilo was a beautiful ride for us, and the city of Iloilo was a great destination. And meeting our friend James and Mel, Texas Filipino, and staying at the Texas Filipino Beach Resort, it was really a great time, and just things you can do and travel, and it's not that expensive. So you have plenty of natural beauty, the white sand beaches of Boracay, Alona Beach, dive shops, scuba diving, the reefs off of Negros, off of Cebu, off of Bohol. Many places to go, many things to do. Another reason older men choose to live in the Philippines is the language and communication. Here in the Philippines, English is everywhere. Everybody speaks English. And the signage, I can't emphasize how important this is. The signage is all in English. Everything you read, the menus, the street signs, the advertising signs, everything is in English. You go into a hospital, it's in English. You know, it's just, it makes it so much easier. People tell me when they're in Vietnam and they go to order something on a menu, you can't read because it's in Vietnamese. You have to order by the picture. Where here in the Philippines, everything on the menu is in English. It tells you it's chicken with rice or pork with rice, whatever it is. You can read what's on the menu. You can read the different drinks that they have. The communication is much better. You go into the hospital if you need service, you need to talk to a doctor. Everybody speaks English. You don't need a translator. So communication is big here. You know, you go traveling at the airport, you get on a plane or you get on a ferry, the ticket agents and the people that work there all speak English. So you're not at a loss for words. It's easy to communicate with people to help you get around and navigate your day-to-day life. And we all know the friendly culture. We all know that the people here are so friendly. You know, when you're in the tourist areas, the people who wait on you and service you are very nice, very cordial. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir. They're very nice. As you walk down the street, people smile at you if you smile at them. It's just a very friendly atmosphere, people-wise. People here do not walk around hating the world as we get back home. You know, back home, nobody talks to anybody when they walk down the street. Everybody is staring at their cell phone and grumpy. You know, there's more of a chance for road rage in the U.S. than there is here in the Philippines. The people here just seem more friendly. You can have a conversation if you find somebody that speaks English. You can walk up to a young lady and ask them for coffee. And if they don't want to go with you, they're going to say, no, thank you, sir. You know, they're going to just be polite and, you know, say no. Or they'll join you and have a great conversation. Back in the U.S., man, you ask a young lady, and I'm talking about a young lady in their 30s, and you ask them for, hey, let's go get a cup of coffee. I'd like to get to know you better. She's going to look at you and say, you talking to me? You have the nerve to talk to me? No, get away from me, you perv. You know, so here the people are much, much more friendly. And the cultural differences here that you have in the U.S. to here is a lot, but it's nothing you can't overcome. You know, the traditions here, they have more traditional values that people enjoy. And it's just for me, it's just a much more friendly culture here in the Philippines than even back home. I'm sorry, you know, it just didn't seem friendly back in the U.S. But all these other reasons, you know, it's a blend of affordability, the favorable climate, the social environment here is good. All this contributes to a higher quality of life here in the Philippines than you have back at home. And you know, the quality of life that you're going to have here, you know, the final reason is the quality of life. The quality of life that you're going to have here in the Philippines is far better than the quality of life you're going to have back in the U.S. if you're on a smaller pension, if you're on a smaller budget. Say your monthly income is under $3,000 a month. How well can you live in the U.S. on $3,000 a month? Here in the Philippines, you can live in a nice place. You can rent a nice place, a nice condo, a nice house, furnished. You can travel. That gives you extra money to travel. You can go to Behold, you can go to Boracay, you can travel. And you'll have plenty to eat. You'll have plenty of money for food. You don't have to worry about food stamps or anything. You'll be fine. And you'll be fine at $3,000 a month taking care of a girl and having a partner. Where in the U.S., if you make $3,000, you know, half of that's going to your rent if you rent an apartment. You know, most of the rest of that is going to go to your electric and your utilities. My God, cable. When I left the U.S., television cable was like over $100+ just for cable television. And then you throw the internet on there. All these things are so expensive. Where here in the Philippines, the cost is far less for the same thing. I have internet, 200 channels, over 200 channels, in HD, and it's cost me a total of, you know, less than $40 a month. And that's my high-speed internet and cable television. You can't get that for the whole bundle back in the States. So your quality of life here is going to be better if your income is less. Now, if you make a lot of money, you're making $4,000, $6,000 a month, you're going to have good quality of life in both countries. But for those of you on a lesser budget, you're going to have a better quality of life. You're going to live better here on $1,000 a month than you can back in the U.S. on $1,000 a month. So all these things add up to a happier, higher quality type of life. Why older men are happy to retire in the Philippines. And when I say older men, I'm going to tell you, this is older couples, older women. It's everybody who is older. And with the women, yeah, you know, they're not looking at the young girls here. But it's the same thing with the guys. There are older women here who have made partners with younger Filipino men. And some of these men are very handsome. And the women come here and they build a relationship and they find their own partnership. It's not exclusive just for men, even though the men are the very vast majority coming here, hooking up with younger girls. Older women are coming here and meeting younger men. So that's my take on this. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.